Alrighty, guys, I'm out doing my walk, and here's another segment of Walk Talks in the Woods. We are midweek, and gotta tell you, it's humid. Temps are fine, but wow, is it humid! I am soaked. But yeah, I was just thinking earlier about just something to talk about. And hey, here's the thing. Originally, I was just going to talk about something I watched today, part of the Jim Rohn motivational series. But man, I got to talk to my dad, and he and I have a good relationship, so I'll preface that. And I would just reminisce a little bit. Both he and I were, in the Army. Of course, different times. He actually retired before I graduated high school, but he's actually one of the reasons I went in. So there you go. And I don't know, it was just cool to talk. We talked about all things changes within the Army and how he trained, how I trained, and night and day difference. And all I can say is when there is a war in play, people train for war. We're not deploying or looking forward to a deployment. I don't mean like that in a happy sense, but you're not looking forward to going somewhere. The rules, not just to say the rules, but the way they train is different. And so I don't know, it's just an interesting thing of what it looks like, I guess, on the execution end. So yeah, we're just in a strange time in history right now. It's not war on terror anymore. It's sort of like, well, what do we do next? And I know the China thing with China is on the horizon, but we will see. So enough of that. But all I can say is go talk to your parents. If they're alive or got a good relationship with them, go talk to them. They'd be glad to hear from you. Because you know what? At the end of the day, you are still their son or daughter. That will never change. So today, when I started out the walk, I thought, well, let's get a good talk in, something to purify the mind, make it nice. And I got to listen to a Jim Rohn motivational called, oh gosh, I just had this down, but it has to do with changing in 1 week. And it's interesting because really it's not about the 1 week, but it's about those beginning steps. Just simple things that you do both morning and night, and playing it out through the day. And man, what a difference. And it's a longer talk. And it sounds like a lot of cliches when you hear it, but what's fun about it is that it's simple things. It's all very, very simple. But I would say three things I pulled from it is, one, your morning and when you wake up, and your evening when you're winding down, are the most critical, especially when it comes to productivity. And really during the day, the bridge between just doing and doing well. When I say doing, it's just like whatever, and that can be good or bad, but really doing well in life, it's discipline. As much as the boring is exactly that, it's boring, guess what? That's where the dollars are. Discipline is not about you liking the moment. It is about developing you. And I can tell you and I can speak from the end of being on the end of training and the one conducting training, in other words, guiding people, that's where people are molded and shaped in a big, big way. Now, what they do with that training is a different story. But going back to the discipline thing, man, when you do it enough, oh my goodness, the results. So things that are like bad habits, they just go away. And you start employing anything that makes you better, things just go away. And the thing is, it's not even like adding stuff into your life. It's cutting loose of stuff that you don't need. I've heard Dan Martell talk about this. He does the authored resource Buy Back Your Time, and he talks about that. You look at the things in your life, and you figure out what things are not productive, and they can range. And so let's say that 80% of your life is focused on the things that really matter and count and get you where you're going. That other 20%, that's kind of like dessert. You have a little fun. So it doesn't mean be 100% dull and boring. It means focus the bulk of your time where it counts. And he actually has this thing called the 95-5 rule. And really about 5% of, I think it's concentrated effort, yields like 95% of your results. That's kind of what I pulled from it. And I thought, man, that's a little bit. And it goes a long way. Almost sounds like the story of the yeast, man. A little leaven's a whole loaf, and that ain't no joke, man. So yeah, discipline, man. It's everything. Might be boring, but boy, the results are good. So at the end of the day, I always tell you, hey, do the things that bring in money and the things that you want to do, really, really want to do, and maybe you can even monetize them. Once you got the money in place, you can do whatever you want to. You know, because when you got money, you ain't got no problems. Kind of crazy how that works. So, yeah, but Jim Rohn, just go look up the series. I'm sorry I don't remember the title offhand, but it's literally like transformation in 1 week or something like that. But, yeah, it's a big undertaking. You do little bits of time, but look, the mornings and the nights, that's where the magic is. So quit doom scrolling and all that jazz. Doom scroll a little bit, but just don't do it right before you go to bed. And when you get up, don't be doom scrolling. Do things like be thankful, pray, go for a walk, stretch, exercise, meditate. Point is, do things that are productive because it sets the tone for the rest of the day. And that being the truth, do those things, make a difference. Because at the end of it, when you're 60 and 70 years old, and you've done things that have made a difference, you'll get to enjoy your golden years the way you want to, not like in a panic rush. And I think, honestly, one of the saddest things I've seen is you see someone who's in their elder years and they're wondering how they're going to be able to make it through the month. And that's really the truth. I think that's a terrible place to be. So look, whether you're in your teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, yes, 50s, that's me. Man, work towards having a life that you can enjoy in your last years. You know, and for those who want to keep it super spiritual, stand before God and hear them words. Well done, good and faithful servant. I don't definitely want my life to be that. Well, look, guys, I'm going to cut you loose. Thank you for listening, and stay cool out there. Drink water, and have a good rest of the week. God bless.